All right, I'm very, very excited.
Well, hey, I'm excited too. So what are we excited about?
To bring to the stage Leslie Slayton Brown. She is Chief Diversity Officer at HP. She's an award-winning leader. Okay. She is the top 100 women in marketing and advertising by Black Enterprise Magazine and Savoy's top 100 women of influence. So kind of a big deal.
Wow. Chief Diversity Officer at HP, in the top 100 women in marketing and advertising, and a top woman of influence. I don't know if I've ever listened to someone with so many esteemed credentials before, at least since the last person I listened to with so many esteemed credentials.
Thank you for that introduction, and what a beautiful story. My name is Leslie Slayton Brown. I am Chief Diversity Officer at HP. I'm excited to be here.
Well, I'm excited that you're excited.
Part of the reason I'm excited to be here is because this topic, so you successfully built a diverse team, now what the heck happens?
Oh, that's our topic. You successfully built a diverse team, now what? Well, I'll admit it is a bit different from other diversity videos I have looked at, where they're always talking in vague abstracts about how to achieve a diverse team. So, in this case, we're just skipping the process and assuming a diverse team has already been created. Well, okay, you have my interest.
I think it's such a great title. And I thought, what in the world am I going to say? Because it took us starting in 2015, November of 2015, HP, Hewlett-Packard Company at the time, set out to separate. We separated into Hewlett-Packard Enterprise and HP Inc. I'm on the HP Inc. side. Hewlett-Packard Enterprise, I have nothing to do with. Totally different board, totally different everything.
Okay, so you're distancing yourself from Hewlett-Packard Enterprise as opposed to HP Inc. That's interesting. I wonder why she drew that line of distinction so pointedly.
But what's interesting about that split was it gave us the opportunity to establish, to build our very own board of directors. And so what we did is we went from Hewlett-Packard Company to Hewlett-Packard Enterprise, Inc. And we said, we're going to handpick the board members that we want to take with us, and we're going to intentionally set out to build the most diverse board of directors in the tech industry. And we achieved that.
You handpicked your board of directors with the explicit goal of creating the most diverse board in the tech industry. All right, well, then I am curious to understand your definition of diverse, and after that, I am curious if the new split-off company hired these people on the basis of anything other than their skills and experience. Otherwise, as the chief diversity officer of a corporation, you may be about to make a very interesting and legally suspect admission.
So 45% women on our board of directors, 30% underrepresented minorities, and 55% total minorities.
So you had an established quota, and you selected and presumably rejected potential board members based on their gender and or their race. Got it.
Now, women, great, ethnic, great, but the interesting thing about building a diverse board of directors is that it's about bringing different perspectives to the table.
Yes, but if at any point in your decision-making process there is a gender test or a racial test, perspectives ultimately do not matter, do they?
And so, of course, we have our 65-year-old white male CEO. We had plenty of those. So...
Yes, they don't have names or unique experiences or unique perspectives of their own. No, you're just going to denigrate and dismiss people based on their race and their gender. Got it.
But what we wanted to do is we wanted to bring a new, fresh, different element. And so we brought in under 40 Stacy Philpott Brown at the time. She was under 40.
Oh, so there was also a consideration of age in your hiring decisions? Got it.
And she was a COO of TaskRabbit at the time. She's now CEO. It sold, went to IKEA. And with that came this phenomenal experience of startup and that energy and diversity and being a working mom even.
Okay, why are you trying so hard to sell me on this particular person as a choice you made for your board of directors?
And so she pushes us to be better and to offer the benefits and the different things for women, for moms. She teaches us because she comes in and she talks, and she teaches by example of sometimes having to shut down and tend to her children. And what it's like to bring your mom into your home to help and to work with you and all these different things. And so example after example, she's setting example in her own way, but also infusing her perspective with this board of directors. And so it's opening up people's minds in a different way.
So absent this one person lecturing your board of directors, considerations for working parents at HP Inc. would have just been absent? I mean, is that a role at HP? A working mother running a guilt trip on the board of directors over what working mothers need? That's my takeaway, at least.
So that was the start of us building this new company, was by starting at the top with the board. So HP has a legacy for integrity and dignity and respect and all these great things. That's what we call the HP way. That's our culture. And when we split, we said, what do we want to leave behind? What do we want to bring with us? And unanimously, people said, you got to take the HP way. We got to get that back. We've had a few leaders that caused a few little hiccups along the way.
Some leaders who caused some hiccups. Oh, do you mean Carly Fiorina, the Unified HP's former CEO, and a woman, by the way, who did such a horrible job that upon the announcement of her firing, HP's market value went up by $3 billion. Is that a hiccup? Got it.
So we're now at a juncture where we have the CEO that we brought in, or actually promoted up into our CEO position, and now he's stepping out.
So you've already switched CEOs since splitting off from HP? Okay.
And we've got a new CEO taking the reign that came from within, that, by the way, started at HP as an intern.
Wow. Very Horatio Alger. And were you waiting for gasps or applause or something? And do tell, was it his long and dedicated experience to the company that ultimately commended him to the role of CEO? Or did other factors about him make all of the difference?
Imagine that, a Latino intern is now a CEO of the company.
Oh, he's Latino. Before you even say his name, you highlight his ethnicity. Was he hired because he is Latino, by any chance? Please do tell us more about how you hire people at HP Inc.
We are so excited for him, so excited. He's run the PC business, the print business, all these different businesses. Now he's at the helm, and We made the announcement on a Thursday, and on a Sunday evening, I was sitting down for dinner with my husband, and my phone rang. And by the way, I thought I had it turned off, and it rang, and it was our CEO. And he said to me, "Leslie." I'm like, "Hello?" He said, "This is Enrique." I said, "Enrique Lores?"
I don't know about you, but I am on the edge of my seat as to where this is going. I feel privileged to be listening to this oh-so-exciting phone call anecdote.
He said, "Enrique Lores." He said, "Leslie, I'm calling to see how you're doing with the news, and I want you to know that I am fully committed to continue the work that we've been doing when I partner with him on the print side of the business. That's not going to change. If anything, we want to accelerate it." And I'm like, "Oh, God, I love my job. This doesn't get any better than this."
So the new Latino CEO is not going to change anything about your area of involvement. And this makes you happy. And I'm sorry, what does any of this have to do with what happens after you've created a diverse team? Because this just sounds like ordinary transition between CEOs stuff. I must be missing something.
So we're changing the guard, but in changing the guard, it also gives us an opportunity to keep building in what we're doing. So it's one thing to set out intentionally to build diversity within your organization. We're a Fortune 100 company, $85 billion revenue, all that's great, but then it is, what role do you have to play? You can be an ally in a lot of different ways. So what role do you have to play as a leader?
Well, apparently, the role of a leader at HP Inc. is to intentionally build diverse teams by setting gender and racial metrics to be met at the expense of merit, or, at the very least, infuse doubt into every employee at the company as to whether they have their job on the basis of their skills or on their skin color and genitals. Oh, and also tempting fate with massive civil rights lawsuits. That is the role of a leader at HP Inc., so far as I understand it.
Our leaders, we said first we're going to do the CEO pledge. By the way, I'm not a big fan of pledges, but this one made sense. Then we had our general counsel, Kim Rivera, beautiful Latina woman. Oh, I love it.
You've got a thing for Latinos, it seems. Does that racial preference engender any unconscious bias in our speaker and her work as Chief Diversity Officer, I wonder?
She did a 10% holdback with her law firms. She said, "I'm going to hold back 10% of your fees until you are reflective of the diversity that we're being held accountable to in the tech industry and with our customers. We want you to be reflective of our customers because guess what? You're making and helping us make law and policy on behalf of. And so you need to know what you're representing. So we want you to do that."
So you're holding 10% of your employees' rightly earned income hostage unless or until they conform with your way of thinking when it comes to valuing race and or gender in their jobs. Got it.
So excited to say, after 18 months, 24 months, we're now at 88% of our law firms have met the challenge of accountability, right?
Right?
That is snappable. I can't snap right now, but it's snappable.
I wonder if HP Inc.'s legal team is familiar with Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. I'm just curious.
So very excited about that. Same thing with our marketing and comms. It's push for the agencies. We've seen 400% increase with our diversity within the law firms, to be able to see that you're doing creative that maps to the customer base that we have. You're setting a tone of communicating in the way that we need to communicate to our customers.
So you're hiring and promoting people based on the racial and or gender demographics of your customer base? Is that what I am to understand?
And we just kept pushing. Channel people represent us and represent our business and our product. So we pushed a channel pledge out. And then we went out to our treasury and said, we also want to bring in minority firms. We want to be able to support those through our investments of innovation and technology.
So you chose firms to work with based on the race and or genders of the people working in those firms. Got it.
And so I say all this to say, it's one thing to be, oh, I'm sorry, go back. It's one thing to say you want diversity. It's another thing to actually do it.
Well, I will agree with you there. And it really is all about how you do it.
And by the way, it's not just about the look, the who we are, it's about what you do with it. And that's the inclusion piece, how we work together.
No, sorry, that is not an escape hatch that you get to use. The moment you make a hiring or promotion decision on the basis of someone's race or gender, whether it's the very first step in the process or the very last step in the process, you are putting optics ahead of everything else. Your claim of inclusion is negated in its entirety the moment you're discriminating your employees on the basis of their race and or their gender. You do not get to ignore all that you have admitted to us and then say that the look of your workforce is not the important thing.
And so we are continuing to build and partner and ensure that people bring their whole selves to the office each day.
So long as their whole selves fall within our race and gender quotas, and so long as they obey our diversity commands, otherwise their whole selves will not receive their whole pay.
That our firms, that our agencies are representative of the diversity that we're looking for. We're making sure that our business impact networks, formerly employee resource groups.
Yes, because changing what they are called completely changes what they are
Aligned to business so that they become a pipeline to talent and leadership and promotion within the company.
So you're using your employee resource groups, regardless of what you want to call them, as testing grounds or internal filters for who will be promoted? Well, given that most ERGs are based around gender or individual racial demographics, yeah, you're not helping your case here.
And with all of that, then we say, there's still much, much more work to do, but these are the things we're doing. And the impact that we see is when we have a changing of the guard to be able to get a call from your CEO to say, I'm all in, just like our motto is, everybody in. Thank you.
Yes. At HP Inc., their chief diversity officer wants you to know that we're all in. Well, you're in so long as you're not the incorrect race or sex. You're in so long as you adhere to the company's cult of diversity. Then you get all of your money. And at HP Inc., you're certainly in if you're Latino.
Imagine that a Latino intern is now a CEO of the company. Beautiful Latina woman. Oh, I love it.
As always, thank you for watching.